For some progressives in 2016, a business mogul and television reality star, despite his lewd and anti-social actions, was a preferable risk rather than voting for Hillary Clinton. We're entitled to our beliefs, but pay for our actions in the end. Here's a little history that I was privy to. Way back in 1990 and 1991, I was an outside marketing contractor for the Trump Taj Mahal Casino. Fair disclosure compels me to state that I was paid in full for all my work. I want to make this clear because I believe it's important to tell all sides of a story. I didn't know at the time that many contractors were losing money and fighting for their company's survival. I was one of the lucky ones. No expense was spared in the introduction of what Donald Trump called the eighth wonder of the world. He was good at nicknames back then too. Little did I or many others know that the Taj Mahal would soon file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. This is a legal though questionably moral business practice, and one in which the president has proudly engaged on a number of occasions. Though President Trump, as far as I know, wasn't involved in day-to-day activities of the casino, the Trump Taj Mahal disorganized management style was an eerie foreshadowing of what is playing out in his administration. About halfway into my tenure, I was called into a meeting with one of my direct reports. I don't feel I'm speaking out of school, as it were, because I'm not naming names or being too specific. What follows is a paraphrase. "Dave, you're not going to believe this. I've just been told half my staff is being let go because of budget cuts. I'm not being allowed to choose who stays or goes based upon job performance. You'd think they would consult with me." This is simply one very abbreviated example of the arbitrary management style of the Trump culture. Perhaps the swamp was being partially drained, but what snappers were being left behind. I could tell you a story about what transpired next, but it wouldn't be ethical. At the end of 18 months or so, my business relationship ended with the Trump Taj Mahal. Not one member of the team that had retained me was left working for the property. Just like so many of Trump's cabinet, the only difference is these were honest and talented people. I was called in by the newly hired brother-in-law of the head man at the Taj Mahal. He introduced himself, was very friendly, used me for one project to learn the ropes. There was no one left he could turn to at that point. Then I was shooed out the door. The purpose of bringing this up is to remind all voters that leopards never change their spots. People and organizations don't tend to change style. You get both what you vote, or fail to vote for. Principles are great, but then you must live with the consequences. Advertisement. This last statement is aimed at my fellow Bernie-crats and other progressives who refused to vote for Hillary Clinton. I respect people living by their values, but simply want to point out the ramifications of our actions when we sometimes don't see the forest for the trees. No Merrick Garland, kids ripped from their parents' arms and locked in cages, persecution of immigrants, toleration of white supremacy, thousands of needless deaths in Puerto Rico, an education secretary that doesn't believe in public schools, alienation of our closest allies, cozying up to a former KGB killer, a bullying erratic commander-in-chief, and then of course, Associate Supreme Court Justices Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. These are just a few of the contributions of the Donald Trump administration. Non-premium members, please hit page 2 for the main point of this article. Next, page 1, 2opednews.com. David Kanages is a certified professional coach and strategic marketing consultant and copywriter. He developed Mind Acrobatics, TM, a series of self-empowerment exercises and techniques designed to enable people to create and sustain life more. Share author on social media. The views expressed herein are the sole responsibility of the author and do not necessarily reflect those of this website or its editors.